It's just weird. It's
because there's no start to it.
Well, the minute I hit record, it was just deafening silence, and I was like,
weird.
Who's gonna talk first?
It's always you.
Yeah, I like to. What's up, guys?
Hi.
My name's Tyler, joined with my girlfriend Tori, and this is the first episode of our podcast, Spoiled Popcorn, where we spoil movies and maybe TV shows. But for now, today, we're talking about a movie, specifically
a big blue one.
Yeah, a big blue movie. The first movie of the decade, at least that Tori and I have seen together in theaters. I mean, last night, what did we watch? I should not have had that Wendy's. Maleficent?
Yes.
Because that technically was a movie theater movie, but
we didn't go see it.
We watched it for the first time together last night.
Yeah.
Right over there in our living room.
That's pretty good.
But we're not talking about that.
That's for another day.
Yeah, we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. Was that the title of the movie, Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah. It was like Sonic. It was like Sonic
and then,
the Hedgehog.
Yeah, okay. But you want to tell them why we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog today?
Maybe because it was the first movie that we have seen in 2020. We got 2020 vision.
I hate you so much. I already said that. But why Sonic specifically?
Well, I don't know. It's animated. Because they took forever.
No, because we were going to try to see Dolittle.
Oh.
Yeah, which we still haven't seen. But we have been so busy. We've moved recently and just never wanted to really go see it.
Yeah.
But Sonic, dude, I pre-ordered tickets last month. Believe it or not. So yeah, we just got back from seeing Sonic the Hedgehog with our buddy Anthony. Which, seriously, what you guys are looking at on the screen right now.
Props to him.
This is all him. I've, yes. Clap. Woo! Oh, thank you. Woo! But yeah, I've explained on this channel, or at least I think my Not Your Average Ty channel before, that I approach TeamTyri in a sense that it's more of like a passion project. Mm-hmm. I never want to rush anything. I have rushed things. Some of our Road to Endgame content was a little forced.
Really?
Some of it was. You had to fight me to actually get me to record those the me videos. Yeah. Remember those? Because I wasn't feeling it, but I wanted to also knock out content. Because we were literally on the road to Endgame, and that wasn't stopping. So I wanted to put out some videos. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's for something.
Make that so loud.
Well, I wanted there to be purpose to the pause. So if they hear the water, it makes sense. Why is there a pause? Anyways, but Tori and I have wanted to do a podcast for a while together. I think it's much easier for us to sit. We're just sitting at our table, just hanging out.
In our jammies.
Yeah, I'm literally I'm not wearing pants.
They don't need to know that.
I mean, it hasn't stopped me before. The camera only shows that I needed to show. But if we were doing a video right now, I would have to look way more presentable.
I mean, you look the same. You do every day.
Well, yeah, but that's because you can't see. We're at a table, so you can't see my boxers.
Yeah.
I bet you don't even know what color they are right now.
They're red.
Damn.
Okay. I saw them earlier.
Well, yeah, I thought you'd forget. I don't know. I thought you'd say blue because of the hedgehog that we just watched on screen. So that was a good segue. But yes, as I said, TeamTyri is more of a passion project. So me and Anthony is a little collaborative, but I was like, yo, artwork. Here's ideas, work your magic. And he worked his magic. So here we are with a podcast. Because with a podcast like this, we just want to talk about movies, anything on TV.
Hence.
Yeah, it's always difficult to find, what should be our first episode? How about this? We missed Avengers. We didn't see the terrible movie Cats. That'd be like a funny first episode.
We didn't.
No, we never saw it.
Dang,
I'm waiting until it hits Blu-ray and I can get drunk and watch it. That could be a podcast all on its own. But would you say this is a pretty good first episode? At least topic-wise. I don't know about the quality and content that we are producing.
To be honest, I think we're going to have the same opinions, so it won't be a lot of chit-chat back and forth. It'll just be more so information to give the viewers, or listeners, as of right now.
Yeah, one thing that you and I completely glossed over, I mean, not the first upload, but we started this channel on Valentine's Day of last year.
Did we really?
Yeah, so this channel...
You started this channel?
Mm-hmm, the TeamTyri channel. So the channel is already over a year old.
Oh, we have, like, nothing on it.
No, not a lot, really.
Oh, we've been busy.
Yeah,
it's fine.
So that. I feel like this is a good episode, or a good first... You know, it's a good blockbuster, Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's also the first movie we've seen of the new year, and it's been a year since... We haven't reached quite a year since our first video came out. We'll approach that sometime soon, I'm assuming. I actually hear vibe a little bit. Let me check the upload date of that.
Oh, okay. Why are you looking at me like that?
I said vibe. What's wrong with you?
I'm like half asleep and half full, or full.
You wanted to eat Wendy's.
I didn't want pizza.
I said Marco's. Ugh. And you wanted Wendy's.
And I'm full now.
Okay, so I'm scrolling on our channel. It says 11 months ago was our first video. And that... March 14th. Oh, so we posted that a month after the channel was created. So we got a lot of significant milestone-ish type things.
It took a month, and then we uploaded, and then it took forever. And
we uploaded that on Pi Day. 314.
Nerd.
All right. So that water that you heard me drinking, that is out of a blue cup. Blue. Oh, Tori.
You're stupid.
We need to get back on topic. We've been talking for
That's your fault.
7-ish minutes.
Anyway, to kind of go into our conversation, I want to put up a big sign with a lot of alarms, like red things that go around. You know what I'm talking about, like wee.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
That's fine. We are spoiling things, so you cannot watch past this point if you haven't seen the movie, if you don't want to hear anything about the movie. Just saying. That's why it's called spoiled popcorn. So,
Tori, I need to correct you on something real quick. Guys, she's getting really heated right now, and she's talking, but you're talking to my laptop.
I know.
The microphone's this way.
But I'm watching it move. Yeah. As I'm watching it move, it's fun.
Is it distracting?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, we have the laptop's recording our audio, and it's got a timer built in.
And it has Spider-Man in the background, and it's hard not to look at Spider-Man.
Dude, I used to only have this laptop until I upgraded to a desktop computer. Once again, thanks to Anthony for that.
You're not allowed to watch past this point if you haven't watched the movie or don't want to know anything about it, okay? Thank you.
Okay, to avoid Tori trying to seductively alert you guys. I don't know. Anytime you pull a microphone close to you, something's about to go down. Tis my pants.
No, it's more like...
Stop that! The people don't deserve that.
Maybe they... What is that called again?
ASMR?
It's ASMR.
It's AMS... Wait, what? Oh, it's just 4 letters. Okay.
Just
AS. Yeah, we chose the name Spoiled Popcorn very carefully. Because... should we dive into that?
What?
Yeah. Are you eating popcorn right now?
Maybe.
That was so believable.
You won't know because you can't see.
Yeah, we'll dive into that a little bit. The naming of our podcast.
It took all of 5 minutes to figure it out.
No, this took weeks.
No, I mean, like, as far as we sat down one day and then we're like, okay. What did we
I wanted to do things like Tube Talk with Tyler and Tori.
I hated that.
Talking with Tyri or Tyri Talks.
Because it's stupid.
You brought up a good point. The fact that it's on our channel, which is already called TeamTyri. Yeah. We do not need to incorporate that in the name of the podcast.
Exactly.
And so you wanted to do something, you know what, fuck it, we'll get into it. Let me find, I have a note on my app.
TeamTyri presents Spoiled Popcorn. Dun dun dun.
So I had a bunch of ideas for the podcast name. It was there were 2 T's in a pod, cast.
That is kind of... Actually, that's kind of cute. Why did I say no to that?
Because it sounds... Because it's... I don't know. It doesn't really say what the podcast is about. What is that supposed to be? Two T's was actually like... Well, 2 P's in a pod.
That's right. Okay.
And then so 2 T's because Tyler and Tori. 2 T's.
Oh, okay.
Then I did Tube Talk, which I think was already taken. And then there's Screen Time, which I think probably is taken.
They're just all basic names that anyone can use.
Yeah, there was Kiss and Tell, but I don't...
That was more of a relationship
thing. That sounds like a relationship sex podcast. There was Pass the Popcorn, but I think that's actually a game.
It is. But, I mean, it's not a podcast.
There was, if we were talking about video games, I liked Rated T for Tyri, but Tori hated that because of Tyri.
Yeah, I don't want to hear my name like a million times.
And
TeamTyri presents Pass the Tyri.
Yeah, and I completely understood that. And so I was like, spill the popcorn. I thought of another one while I was at work. It was Concession Confessions.
I like that one.
But that kind of sounds like a podcast.
Like a game.
With a consistent host, but then you just bring on guests that can like always tell their bad movie their bad movie probably do their bad movie theater experiences, which unfortunately we can chalk
it. See, I'm not as picky as you are. Men, I'm sorry, men are a lot pickier.
We'll get into that. And so I think one day during work, me and Tori both like the popcorn, and I thought of spoiled popcorn because I wanted to let people know that this podcast would be spoiler heavy no matter what we're talking about. And I didn't want to have to do a disclaimer every time. So when you were seductively telling our people, guys,
this is our first podcast, I might as well
guys, don't fucking listen to this if you don't. Yeah, so it's in the name. Spoiled popcorn. Popcorn movies, literally anything on screen. Video games, maybe not so much. We're not big on video games, but what Tori and I are really big on is movies.
And TV shows.
Yeah, we actually, we have a cork board of all of these movies and other events we've been to, not just movies. But yeah, one thing that we always have loved to do together was go to the movie theater. And just with how busy we've been, and with the move, us actually being productive adults for once, we had to wait until fucking 2 months in.
Yeah. And while we're on vacation, which I don't really call this a vacation.
Yeah, we took a few days off of work because, I'm trying to focus on what makes me happy. And videos, knocking out the first podcast with you, I think is really high up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is how we came to spoiled popcorn. And if I'm lucky, I don't think that exists. I hope we're it. I don't know if we're going to go big on
sure that you
iTunes or iHeartRadio or Spotify. But for now, we got YouTube. That's what we've done together. So you guys will get a podcast in the form of video from us.
Speaking of big, I just have to shout out your The Grumps shirt. Because I keep staring at it while you're talking. And I'm like, huh?
They were a big inspiration. I'm going to fanboy right now. I love a bunch of YouTubers and Game Grumps.
Yeah.
Did you know that they'd made a podcast?
Yes, I did.
It, I think, died after 18 episodes or so. It was called the G Club.
Yeah.
And they spoke about, I remember an episode where Aaron and Dan ranted, they fanboyed over Godzilla. Like an old Godzilla movie or a new one, but not like the big blockbuster one. And I like that. It's just two dudes, two best friends talking about movies, and that's what
we're trying to do. Oh,
so
best friend.
Here we go. 14 minutes into this video. Let's dive in to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now. Anyway.
I was trying to think of a question. Okay, what did you expect going into it? Let's start there.
To be 100% honest, shit out on the table right now. Not literally shit, but I didn't want to say anything, but I knew that you and Anthony and everyone had a pre-existing idea, and I hated the idea that they had when they first released the trailer. I hated that, not idea, but the Sonic, because honestly, he looks like he came out of some type of, what do you call that?
Abomination factory.
Yeah, he looked like he would have eyes. I don't know, just it bothered me.
So you immediately hated the original. Did you like the new one?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
So I had no idea, why, I guess. everyone was making a huge deal about it. Like, it looked ugly, but at the same time, it's like people had a certain way that had to look. And so, and then they're like, oh yeah, the story. And I'm like, I don't know what fucking story it would be. And it's like, okay. So when we got to the theater, like I had, as soon as I redid everything, I got super excited because I just had a feeling it was going to be good. And I really liked it. I was so
literally up until tonight, you weren't expecting much out of it.
Like I wasn't expecting much, but when I sat down, I'm like, I just have a feeling it's going to be good, especially because from the reviews like that I've heard, I didn't read anything on it, but I've just heard that it was really it did really good at the box office.
I've avoided every movie. I've avoided this water is doing nothing for me. I'm still going through puberty, clearly.
I don't think you'll ever stop on that one.
Yeah. I think I'm almost reaching that age. Is it 26 years old for dudes?
I guess.
26, you're just done. You just adult from there.
I know your brain stops developing at 26. Right? Is it brain?
It sounds so negative. Your brain stops developing.
It's developing like
I think I get it, yeah.
It's truly done. Anyway.
Well, that's a way to sidebar my dry voice. This might be a bad idea to do a podcast. I can't talk for long. Just kidding. But fuck, what was that? Oh, the reviews. Yeah, I've avoided everything because there are certain movies which I will revoid. Oh my god, I will avoid as much as. This is our first podcast. Give us a break. I swear we'll get into the swing of things by episode 17. Banking on it,
and then just completely canceling.
Yeah, episode 17. We'll talk about cats. Don't hold us to that.
Like the movie Cats.
Yeah.
Not just. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just respond to a bunch of cat videos.
Yeah.
I tried to avoid every movie review I saw about it. I have a Google Pixel, so they have a Google feed, and one of the things I saw was Sega fans, slow your roll, and I was like, oh, come on. But I'm not a fanboy of Sonic, really.
Me either.
The only thing that I went off was Sonic the Hedgehog, #1 video game opening of all time. Immediately, I lit up. I was so happy. I didn't need to hear critics or reviews or anything. No. I was just like, people are going to this movie, and people go to movies 90% of the time through word of mouth.
That is true, because to be honest, I almost want to talk about like a conspiracy theory of like them messing up Sonic in the beginning just so they can get hype about it to open it and make it the biggest whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Disappoint fans and then get them hyped. Like, yeah. I love what's just like, wow,
and you
guys.
You gotta go see it when they redo it.
The internet cyberbullied a whole studio into like redoing a Sonic movie or something.
Because it was a great movie. All they needed to do was change the look of him. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's what I saw was that it did #1, and I loved Detective Pikachu. And I'm not a big, I know of Pokemon, but I don't play the games hardcore, and I think they started from games. Like, I don't think they were trading cards out to begin with.
Honestly, I don't remember because I was hardcore I almost said Pikachu in a Pokemon. I had the cards and everything.
Yeah.
I did it because my brother did it.
But I think those started off as just video games, and then that was like 20-something years ago in the 90s or something, and then we finally got the live-action movie, and everyone was like, oh my god, it looks so realistic, what the fuck? And it was so different, it was such a risk. But I loved it. I think what really saved that movie in particular, we're going to sidetrack a little bit, was Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, a movie about a skyscraper. Oh, but Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm in that theater. Like, count me in. I'm in that seat. I got my ticket. But Ryan Reynolds brought us in. But with this movie, James Marsden doesn't get a lot of hype. Not really. He was in a lot of movies. He was in that Hop? That's the last movie I remember him in.
He was like in 27 Dresses.
And then X-Men back in like the early 2000s.
He had a lot of good movies, but he was never the main character. Obviously, he's not really like the main character in this.
And that's the thing. What had to drive people to see this movie was like
Sonic.
Detective Pikachu. People weren't going to see Pikachu. They were going to see Ryan Reynolds and all the Pokemon. Mm-hmm. But Sonic, this was just him. And Jim Carrey. I almost forgot about Jim Carrey.
You can't forget about him.
And then we got Ben Schwartz voicing Sonic. This is funny. I made a video on my Not Your Average Ty channel where I reacted to the first Sonic trailer back when he looked, like that. And I just remember the voice bothering me for some reason. And I think it was because Sonic just He
didn't look like Sonic.
He looked like shit.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really focused on that like everyone else was. I was just focused on how this would operate as a movie. And because the character already didn't fit, I couldn't fit Ben Schwartz's voice to a creature that looked like that. I remember
you said that.
And now
he was tall as fuck and looked like a freaking person.
He looked like a person.
Had sex with like a hedgehog.
He honestly just looked like a mascot of like the Blue Hedgehogs or something. Like it looked like a human in a suit. And Ben Schwartz just wasn't getting it for me. But now that we put him in Sonic, dude, he was meant to voice this character. It was so 100%. Good.
And it's like the little things that he did, like the very subtle, funny moments that he had, just fit so well that I think that no one else could have voiced him.
And that's what I really liked about it, because I heard in an interview with him, or not an interview, he was just talking with some friends, that he didn't really study the video game, like all of the nuances with that. He just knew of the character and gave him the personality he thought he best deserved, and it worked. It was really, really cool. Like, I thought that worked perfectly. Mm-hmm. And I think... What?
Agreed.
Oh, good. So you think the cast was good? I mean, not a big cast. We'll go with, 3-4 major people.
It's weird because me watching so many movies and shows, not saying I have anything on you, but I kind of dabble in, studying up on actors and actresses, so I knew a lot of them, even if they weren't big. So I think that the cast was great because I knew them from small parts.
So who do you think stole the show? Was it Ben Schwartz as Sonic, Jim Carrey as Robotnik/Eggman, James Marsden's wife? I don't remember her name.
See, and I'm gonna look that up because I don't want to leave her out, because she was actually a good actress.
Or her sister.
And her sister.
That was funny.
And her daughter. Her sister's daughter, whatever.
So obviously, the overall mood or tone of this movie was fun. It was... Mm-hmm. I don't want to say it was so much comedy.
Oh, it was comedy, because...
It was funny, yes, but I think this is when...
There were adults in that place. The adults were laughing more than the kids were.
Oh, I'm saving that for the end.
I know you are.
I think this is what you categorize as a family film.
You know what? Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, it is a family film because you got to bring your kids to it.
Because it's fantasy. They consistently refer to him as an alien, and he's not of this world. So yes, it is a fantasy, kind of science fiction. Mm-hmm. There's no romance, thank God.
A little bit.
He's married, but that's just what you'd expect. It wasn't like a goal to be romantic.
No, and that was good. Because especially in Detective Pikachu, I don't think that there was really a huge romance. I think there was a small side romance with, what was her name? I don't remember. Wasn't there a guy and then the girl
No idea.
teamed up?
I've only seen the movie once.
I know. Me too, but still.
But there should be a genre of movies where it's just the duos. There's always a duo.
It's the lucky duo.
We're going to keep talking about Detective Pikachu because that's obviously what we can compare with a successful video game movie. But there was Justice Smith and then Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. And then we had Ben Schwartz as Sonic and then James Marsden. There's always a duo. Ooh. Or Central Intelligence where it's The Rock and Kevin Hart. You always have something or Hobbs and Shaw with The Rock and Jason Statham. It's an action movie, but because the two people's chemistry is hilarious, some would consider it a comedy. So I think that's kind of where I am with Sonic, is that it was a comedy, but it was more... I don't know, more fantasies, definitely action. It was very good. I actually really loved the lore.
I was just going to say, let's start at the beginning. So, I played Sonic when I was younger. It was I don't remember what game it was or what it was on.
Yeah. I don't know if we prefaced this podcast. We're not big Sonic fanboys or nerds.
I think we told them earlier.
Okay, I think we did too.
Covered that.
Yeah, I didn't dabble much in Sonic. I know I mentioned I didn't really fuck with Pokemon. Also, this podcast is explicit. I apologize.
Yeah, we're going to put that up there. But lost my train of thought. Thanks, Ty.
You were talking about the beginning and how you didn't play Sonic.
Well, and then I remember in the movie theater, Anthony said something about, like, there were no owls. What in the hell, like, what was that?
The owl in the beginning of the movie? What it was kind of like his protector. And let's also, knowing Anthony, huge Sonic fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So this movie was way more significant for someone like him than it was for me and you.
Even that, but kids that have never even heard of Sonic before.
Right? And that's so sad, because he's not that relevant. Kids aren't really going out to GameStop or Best Buy and buying themselves video games. So before this movie, and I think his TV show may have stopped. I think they may have had Sonic Boom, or I don't know what it was called.
There were a few that were...
But yeah, Sonic wasn't really a huge thing, and this movie wasn't needed, but I can tell people appreciate it, and they are glad that they got it. But with a movie like this, so, okay, back to Pokemon. Detective Pikachu, I think, was a game made for the Nintendo DS, where you were a Pikachu Pokemon, but you were a detective. I do not believe, I could be wrong, because I don't know this at all, but I do not believe that you were a human trapped inside a Pikachu. And that's what the Detective Pikachu movie was. It was Ryan Reynolds as a father and I think a scientist who was trapped in a Pikachu body.
Yeah.
So they
How did he not know that? It was his voice.
Yeah. I'm so confused. I think the dad was separated and hasn't seen him since he was like 9 or something. I have to go back and watch that movie. If you guys have not seen Detective Pikachu, it's fantastic. Go watch it. Even if you're not a Pokemon fan.
Go see it, but don't watch it. I mean, you can watch it in a drive-in. It's hard to focus. You got this sounds outside.
That's a completely different podcast.
Yeah, but I just had to say that because that really bothered me. Tyler.
Oh, that's the chair. The chair was squeaky.
Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, so they often have to change like the lore of a story. They have to adapt it in a way that would make sense on the big screen. So it's like, why else would there be a Detective Pikachu? It's like, oh, well, let's have that be his father, and he needs to, figure out the big master plan of this evil company, and he needs his son, and that's how the two wind up. That's how the movie exists. So with a thing like Sonic, he's got to come to this planet. He's got to be lonely. That's what made him get really, really mad and sad and do that big power outage. And by the way, I love that.
Really?
Yeah, they gave him like a little... I don't know why.
A little sass?
Well, no. Anger? I was going to say depression.
Oh.
I relate to characters. I don't...
Because he's lonely.
Yeah, I don't suffer from depression, but it's very relatable. You're able to just... I understand that character. I can feel and empathize with that character. So when he's just like, literally, if I have any fun or any interaction with anyone, I'm immediately like wanted and then put everyone, including myself and everyone around me, in danger. So he just, at one point, he's like, I'm just super lonely.
He's like, I'm pissed off. I'm going to make a square and then just push all this power away. So then it just...
It's funny. It's literally called a baseball diamond. You're like, I'm going to make a square. But you're right. I think
it's a square.
I think a diamond is literally just a square on its side.
For some reason, I think the way that the movie was
it didn't even look like he was turning.
It didn't. Well, no, it didn't, because he is so fast that he's in like one spot. But it looked like when he was going around, he was like in midair, and he was running, and it was just a big ass blue line. And
what did you think about that?
What?
The blue line to indicate its speed.
Oh, I like the blue. I mean, are you talking about color or just in general?
No, because it's gonna be blue.
You have to have something to show that you're moving.
Yeah, but that's also the thing. What was it? 10 years? There was a 10-year jump.
Yeah.
From
when he left his...
Yeah, and we'll go back to Baby Sonic. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
But he has had to be stealthy this whole time. And it's every time you see him go fast, and fast is what makes him unseen, but there's the blue line. So it's like, can we see the blue line as people in the audience of this movie but can other people not see the blue line? And then he leaves the quills. I don't know.
You're right, though.
That's a small plot hole for me. I think that
there's a lot of questions I have.
He couldn't have been as stealthy as was led on to believe if we saw him even when he was moving. I don't remember if we saw him at that first scene where he was going in front of the cop car to track his speed, which I thought was hilarious. I loved
that part because it didn't show him first. It showed James Marsden in his car. Yeah. And then he's just like chilling out like freaking I'm so bored. And then you just see Sonic behind the car peeking out like, ooh.
And I think that's why they worked so well together as far as characters, because James Marsden was looking for a big change. He was bored.
And then he just got accepted to the job that he applied to in San Francisco.
Yeah, and he wanted to make that big change because he was bored. You know, I don't think they had a kid.
No.
Maybe. No, that was his sister's. No, that was the wife's sister's kid.
Yeah.
And so, he was like, oh, Sonic, you're all so lonely. I'm, not lonely. He's not having marriage problems, but in a sense, just kind of complacent, and Sonic was that change he needed.
Yeah, but he didn't even know he needed it.
Yeah.
Because he kind of pushed it away each time. Like, I'm going to get caught, and then I'm not going to be able to move on and do my own thing.
And that's the thing that I often have a problem, especially with, like, the Quicksilver scenes in X-Men, is when they go so fast, actually...
Those are my favorite parts.
This is more Quicksilver MCU.
Yeah.
He had the blue line after him.
Really?
Kinda, yeah. I think he had a blue or a silver. He left a trail, same as Sonic. So when they go so fast that you can't see them, but yet you can see them because they went so fast, that's where it kind of messes with me. But then when they have those scenes, like in the X-Men movies where Quicksilver, time is frozen, but they're just treating the room like a fucking ice rink and doing whatever they want.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
It's like...
each time that he did that.
Would we be able to see that or no?
No.
Do you know what did it very well?
I'm thinking of just X-Men.
With the Speed Demon?
Oh. No.
The Incredibles.
Was it when, what's his name?
Dash.
I don't remember that part. Was it first one or second?
Well, all of them. He's fast in all of them.
Yeah, but you don't watch that, do you?
There is a part, do you remember, it's in Incredibles 1, where he gets in trouble by his teacher because he puts a thumbtack on a seat. But they're watching the footage of him, and all you do is see Flash.
He doesn't even...
You just see him move in his seat. He doesn't get up. You don't see that blur line or anything. And that's just... I'm not complaining about it, but it always bothers me. It's like, this motherfucker has had to be, like, invisible for 10 years. And so he chooses to be fast so no one can see him. But when he's fast, you can see him. That's my only complaint, realistically, I think.
I don't think that you can see him. I think that is only showing the audience, like, they need what they need to see. So I think you're right. I think that unless it was that blue, that power outage scene.
I think if we were in that movie, we wouldn't have been able to see him. But for cinema, they do the blue line to emphasize where he's going in, relation to how much little time has passed.
And the fact that I'm pretty sure in the video game that's what happens.
And he called himself the Blue Blur. That's sweet. Let's go back to the baby real quick. But Blue Blur, I want to get back to that, just how they referenced Sonic. Because you have to reference, like Pokemon did it very, very well. A lot of video game, even Pixels. So underrated. Mm-hmm. But they have so many video games, and they all... The Wreck-It Ralph references a lot of games, too. I think it's very, very good that they do that. But, all right, we got to talk about Blue Sonic. Did you know about Blue
Sonic.
Baby Blue. Did you know about Baby Blue?
No, but I only saw him for, like, a minute. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really care, like, if I saw him again, I guess. Because I knew that it was going to be Sonic. So it's not like, I'm like, okay.
I was a little upset that it was spoiled for me. But you know why it was?
What?
Competition. Everyone has been on the Baby Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
The child bandwagon.
I'm sorry, but nothing.
So it's like, hey, here's
cuter than Baby Yoda.
Yeah, here's also Baby Sonic. I feel like they would not have shown off Baby Sonic if it weren't for Baby Yoda.
Maybe, maybe not.
They're trying just to piggyback off of that. It's like, hey guys, if you love Baby Yoda, cute little things that you just want to squish and love, we have one of those too in our new movie. Come see it.
Yeah. And what's funny is I don't even think that Jon Favreau wanted to emphasize Baby Yoda. I have to say Baby Yoda. I don't know his name, so I know it. Like, I don't want to be all... He's the child. The child. I'll say the child. It's just easier to say Baby Yoda because everybody knows.
In season 2, they might be like, oh, here's his daddy. And then he's got... Maybe? It's like, oh, there's my little Charles. Charles. Yeah, it's just Charles the child. But yeah, we have Baby Sonic. I wish I didn't know that existed, but... That was cool. He
was adorable, though.
Yeah, because they don't really bring up his age. Like, I'm going to guess he's maybe...
I would say, like...
16.
What?
I'm going to guess Sonic is, like, 16.
Oh, I thought you were saying baby... No.
We need
Baby Sonic.
Get on track. Baby Yoda's 50. He's
I know that. No, I'm not saying Yoda. I'm saying... I thought that you meant Baby Sonic was 16.
Oh, no.
I was confused.
No, because he looked like he operated kind of like a 6-year-old.
Like he
and then
it
said 10. Like 10 years passed. And I was just like, he's probably a teenager.
He did look like a teenager.
And Ben Schwartz, I think, is in his 30s. So he already sounds older. And even in the bar scene, when he's like, oh yeah, he's 40. And then this and that, they're kind of joking around. And he's just like, yeah, I wasn't always... Ugh, I'm terrible at this. This is going to be the worst part of podcast. I'm terrible at trying to recount specific dialogue.
Honestly, I can't, so we can just forget that because watching it once, I'm like, oh, he did this and this. I have no idea what he said. It's just
James Marsden was just like, oh yeah, he's 40 and he's got this skin disease.
And it makes him look blue.
And then you hear Ben Schwartz talk as Sonic and it's like, yeah, he's not a child for sure. So I want to say...
He's not a child, but he's not a grown adult.
He's not an adult. So I want to say 15, 16 years old, maybe.
Anywhere between 16 and even... I was thinking even like 18, 19.
Yeah, I'll go 15 to 19. I think that's a good... And it's interesting that they don't dive into that, you know, because...
His age. Well, it's like... that's Sonic doesn't have an age.
Fucking nerds and fanboys love that shit.
Oh, then they can make love, like off stories,
making a timeline, like Zelda fanboys and whatnot. It's just like, oh, guys, this fits in this, and canon wise, this is this, and chronologically, and it's like, oh, Link's only this, and stuff like that.
I get that, but no one asks how old James Marsden or his wife is. They look pretty young,
right? Yeah, okay.
She looks really young.
Yeah, but yeah, I think they did a very good job in referencing a lot of the Sonic. I almost said memorabilia, but Sonic
past
nerdum,
I
guess. According to Anthony, the owl wasn't really ever a thing.
Yeah.
But he said they incorporated things from like the comics. There's video games, obviously, and they had to create stuff for the movie.
Yeah.
So in a sense, is this stuff now canon? I don't know. That's up for like the big studios and all the critics and the fans to decide.
Yeah.
I'll just read about it later.
Actually, after watching this, makes me want to read up more on it so I understand it better.
Oh, I would... I was in the middle of swallowing, and I was like, oh no, I have a thought! I would love to read Sonic comic books now.
Oh, yeah.
Or graphic novels, like if there's a big volume of it, I would love it. I love the artwork that a lot of Sonic people do.
You know who he reminds me of?
Sonic?
I just got it. And it's crazy to think about because it's kind of like everyone loves him for the same reason. Spider-Man.
Yes.
Because he's a young boy who has so much energy and he's dorky.
He's got to find his way and everything.
Yeah. So I just kind of like immediately think of Spider, which is funny because that's who's on your screen right now.
Right. That's very cool. Like Sonic deals with his loneliness and then Spider-Man deals with his secrets.
Yeah.
And, you know, Sonic also is like, I can't interact with people because people get hurt. And then Spider-Man doesn't want anyone to know who he is because that's essentially the exact same thing. That's a very good parallel.
That's just, I
like that. And then they also have that similar humor. Like, they always have the sarcastic wittiness about them when they're fighting enemies and whatnot. And I love that. So let's now talk about Jim Carrey.
Yeah, we got to get into that. We'll get into everyone else here in a minute, but we got to talk about Jim frickin' Carrey.
I was so glad...
Mr. Eggman.
I was so glad that they picked this, or him, because it's funny. Eggman is
big,
rotund, yes,
but
very weird, very very skinny legs, but very fat.
When you think about it, he kind of has an origin story in this movie because he doesn't meet Sonic yet until...
Oops, that's embarrassing.
Till 20 minutes in, or I don't know how long it was. So it's like he's beginning. So he's thin, he's skinny, he wears all black, he has nice hair, he seems very put together, and you know, and so it's like Mr. Robotnik, or whatever his name is. Robotsky is what they say.
Dr. Robotnik.
Dr. Robotsky.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, what I appreciate is that the trailers didn't spoil much, so I don't know much about the Sonic franchise, and especially Eggman. I don't know.
I know he's an asshole.
I knew there were two names. I didn't know what name was what. Yeah. I don't know if Eggman's his villain name or that's just the name that Sonic gave him.
Ooh.
Because he's just like, oh, I like all your egg drones, Eggman. And then Anthony was right next to me, just like, yes!
I heard,
They said it!
But I was happy, too.
But yeah.
I know very little just by when I played the game. Like, I'm not a huge fan of knowing everything. But I do remember Eggman, and I remember how annoying he was.
But yeah, and then there's also a thing in the back of my mind. I'm just like, are Eggman and Robotnik actually two different people? Because I'm playing currently through Mario and Sonic the Olympic Games, so obviously I know a little bit about Sonic just from that, and there is an Eggman and then an Eggman Nega. And that's not a form of Eggman, that is a separate entity. That is a different character. Eggman and Eggman Nega were talking back and forth with one another. So two different people. It's not like when we were watching Scott Pilgrim the other day, and it was just like, oh, Nega Scott.
Yeah. When he's like a form of him.
Well, I guess that technically is another person. So bad example. But yeah, so Dr. Robotnik eventually turns into Eggman. So without Sonic, he was himself, Dr. Robotnik, and then with Sonic, he was Eggman. And that was the name that Sonic gave him.
And did you realize at the end of the movie, when he was, he shaved his head like Mr. Eggman.
Loved that, yeah.
And then he grew out his mustache.
Yeah.
Which was now like a mega mustache. That was huge.
That's the Eggman mustache, yes.
Yeah. And then I looked down and he had a little bit of a tummy.
Did he really?
He did. I saw a little bit, more than I did in the beginning. So I'm thinking maybe like he's going to get
eating
bigger.
a bunch of mushrooms.
There you go. I guess you
And I'm also curious if like any of the Sonic games or, any of that lore just focuses on Eggman or Robotnik before Sonic. So is he at one point never Eggman yet? Because in this movie, he wasn't Eggman until Sonic gave him that name. True. And then he called him, like, Dr. Eggman.
I don't know.
So I don't know if that was new to this movie, if we just, people who are fans of Sonic, just like, oh, yeah, I know his name's Dr. Robotnik, but he also goes by Eggman.
So I don't know if Sonic gave him that.
Yeah, part of me wondering if that was like a christening. It's like, oh, I now deem you Dr. Eggman instead of Dr. Robotnik. That is your villain name to me from here on.
Yeah, and the only reason why he called him Eggman is because his drones looked like eggs.
Yes.
That was it. And I thought like when I was playing the games back then, and I thought about it now, it's like, oh, you know what? Mr. Eggman was his name. I'm like, this is this guy's name. He named it himself. And now watching it, I'm like, well, that's what he did. And
it's always, if we were to go back in time, I don't even remember like when this movie was in the works. I just remember, hey, we have a Sonic movie. So I never really gave much thought to be like, ooh, who could play Eggman?
Oh, me either. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny that we're talking about the two different names because I actually know him as Eggman.
Yeah.
I didn't really know him as Robotnik, which is interesting because of what we just mentioned, that Sonic made him Eggman. So I don't know. Maybe there was just some backstory that the fanboys know as, oh yeah, he's actually Dr. Robotnik. But anyways, if you were to pitch this movie to me, and I'm just like, ooh, who would make a good Dr. Eggman? Jim Carrey wouldn't have been on the list, I'll tell you that. It fit perfectly, but the first thing you try to go to is visuals. Is how they look.
Gentleman.
And this is basically a dude who's shaped like an egg with two legs.
You know who would
Two straw-sized legs.
Yeah, well, straw size, yeah.
They are so tiny in comparison to his torso.
And that actually fit well at the end.
Who do you think would be a good one? I don't know why I had someone pop in my mind. I don't like it, but someone did.
Someone popped in my mind, and I don't like it either. But only because I know...
Do you want to say it at the same time?
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Jack
Josh
Black.
Gad. Okay.
That's funny. It sounded so
I actually, at first...
Oh my God, he would be good too!
At first, I thought of Drew Carey, but that's only because I have him in my mind from The Masked Singer. Sorry if you got spoiled on that, but catch up. You have a week to watch each episode.
Yeah.
But Jack Black, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just like immediately because I think of, even though he's not a big dude, but I just, when I picture someone that could be evil, that could play that part, I think of him, and he can easily just, put on.
Well, wait a minute.
What?
Jack Black is evil?
No, he could easily play that part.
How do you?
Because he's a good actor.
Okay.
Not because he's
I'm about to say, he's never been a villain. Not to my knowledge.
No, but he is a good actor, so I feel like he could easily switch from, he's funny. He did amazing in Jumanji, different people. He played 3-4 different people.
Yeah, a little bit.
At some point. So it's like he could easily transition that.
But I think back to Jim Carrey as being cast in this role, he is a villain.
Yeah. He's always been really good at playing.
He's never a hero.
Really?
He's a good guy, but he's not a hero.
True.
Because
he did play a villain. He played the Riddler.
He played Riddler. He played Scrooge. Mm-hmm. Although that was just a bad guy. It's not so much a villain. He played the Grinch.
Yes.
I feel like there's another... he played Eggman.
Animated.
Another bad movie? Animated?
No. Maybe? I don't know.
But he plays villainous people. But when he's not being a villain, he's just being a good guy or a normal guy that good things try to, the things try to happen to. But in Dumb and Dumber, that's a big stretch. Liar, liar, things like that. It's just a good guy that crazy situations happen to.
He was a good guy in Ace Ventura, which he played amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I think what people really loved about it, and this isn't even servicing fans of Sonic, this is servicing fans of Jim Carrey, was the robotic way in which he, brought Dr. Robotnik to life was
literally robot.
Very, very reminiscent of Ace Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
Just when he's just ooh, it's who's in charge? And he's like, and then he does that fast talking. That's Ace Ventura all the way.
Yeah, and we gotta talk about his dancing.
Oh my God.
His dancing
It's the one thing that bothered me was that fucking camera angle. It started off in a 180 turn. It's no, I don't need this.
Yeah, but it was
I got
good because it just, for one, it kind of showed that, he's quirky and, and it reminded me so much of his old parts, Ace Ventura. I wanted that scene to last longer. So when they spent 3 seconds rotating the camera so stylishly, I was like, no, I don't need this. But I get it. You want to show the weirdness of him. And he's got his fucking truck hub. Was he doing all of that from a vehicle? Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was all, and it kind of, what's the...
It's like an RV he had.
What are those little German doll things that when they pop out...
Those are Russian.
Russian
nesting dolls.
It reminded me of that because it got smaller and smaller.
Well, that wasn't what he was in.
No.
He was controlling that.
Yeah. But he remember the truck when they blew up the truck with electricity or whatever, or blew off. Whatever.
It was the big kind of bulldozer looking thing. Then it was the bike. Then it was the unicycle. And then it was the little drone, the shape of the golden snitch.
Did so much.
Right? Did the fucking laser, turn the truck into a convertible. And wow, I get really off topic because I remember what I wanted to say earlier. What they didn't show in the trailer, what I was led to believe is that this dude was just crazy. Nobody liked him. He was crazy. Yeah. It's like the detective that has a hunch and everyone's just let it go, Rodriguez, and things like that.
But then he ends up knowing everything.
But then they say in the movie, it's his IQ is off the charts, this and that.
He was smart. Yeah.
And it's you have a right to be as cocky as you are because you are right. You are one of the most intelligent villains that we're probably going to see, or at least that they were faced with. And
it was kind of annoying though how he was such a know-it-all. It kind of reminded of you sometimes.
Oh well, I'm never
you're no, you're not ever that bad, but you're just I know I'm right.
You're never
because
you're not going to be in the car and be oh Tyler, the exit's over here. I was oh thank you for nothing. I'm not gonna be like that pretentious, but yeah, I get it. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like I have to know everything. The typical dude stereotype.
I mean, that's just a Tyler stereotype.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Could it be a stereotype?
No.
A stereotype. Not your average stereotype.
Stereotype. There you go.
And then James Marsden, he was great. I loved him.
Yeah.
That was just a good dude. I liked how the chemistry with him and the Sonic character and Ben Schwartz.
He is not a bad actor by any means.
No, very good.
I was impressed with his, because like he was in so many other movies, and then like he was like the side character, which I loved. The character he played, but I was nervous about this because he was more of a main side character where he had to have that personality that led Sonic around, and he had that like kind of, what's the word, like very not snarky is that a word?
Sassy, witty, sarcastic.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to think of a good,
obnoxious,
but it was more of like, dude, I just don't feel like dealing with this shit. But it was good because he had a lot of funny moments I didn't expect.
Yeah, to me, honestly, I know Sonic is the title character, the titular character of this movie, but I do view them more of as a duo.
A duo.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
And then
Sonic
I think, if anything,
main
this
character.
was a good like Robotnik movie. Like that. I'm not saying it was about him, but it was Robotnik versus Tom and Sonic. I almost
called him Tim.
Yeah.
I wanted to call him
That's
Tim.
what the dentist calls him, Tim.
Yeah.
See, it had good moments of dialogue like that are just people can laugh at.
Yeah.
And
I had it throughout the whole movie, not just that one part where like, ha, and then didn't laugh.
And then the wife was a good. At all. She was what you'd consider a supporting character.
That's what I was gonna say. Was she was actually really, really good too.
What's her name in real life? What's the actress that plays her?
I don't want to mess it up because I really like her and she's
gorgeous. Is it a hard one to pronounce?
It's either Tika or Taika Sumpter. I know it's like Sumter. Yeah. Sumter? Tika Sumter. Okay, remember in Ride Along?
Probably Tika.
She was a wife in Ride Along.
Oh yeah, I do not remember that movie that well.
Kevin Hart.
I do remember it a little bit. Oh yeah, like he's giving her the black hammer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sister, she at some points was just annoying.
Annoying but funny.
It was funny.
I'll give it to her.
She was funny in the moments when she was present, but not necessarily stealing it.
Yeah.
It's like when they just zoomed out and she's tied up to the chair. That's funny. There. You've served your purpose. I don't need any extra dialogue from you. But then she talks and you get that, that sassiness. And it's like, shut up. We know. And then the DIVORCE. It's like, really? Come on.
Yeah, she could have calmed down with that.
At that point, it's not that takes you out of it being a Sonic movie for a little bit.
But she could have had to be there because I think with, them being married, James Marsden and Tika Sumpter, whatever, with them being married already, it's not like they're like just, dating. They're a couple. Yeah. And so she can have to be there to like, oh my God, it's a sister-in-law that doesn't like the husband that wants her to get divorced, and it's in almost like every other movie. Yeah. And it kind of happens.
And we didn't really need that because it didn't really affect the movie that much. Not
but
really.
It added a little scene in there.
Like the wife never got into a fight with him and then went to the sister. It just...
No, but it kind of led you to that point where you're like, oh, what if they get in a fight? Like, he's on the run.
When he has Sonic, like, cradled up like a baby.
Yeah,
and we
you're
don't
like,
know.
what's
it's like,
going to happen?
Yeah, what's going to happen? But speaking of, I am so...
You're gassy.
Fucking Wendy's, bro. Speaking of, like, not feeling like a Sonic movie, like, the scenes with the sister, I'm like, okay. This is very unsonic, but
it's very adult.
What was it like after 20 minutes when they cut to the government room with all the soldiers and the official people talking to each other?
Talking about Robotnik.
It's like we had a countrywide blackout, and they were talking about the possible sources, and then they're just like, I don't want to get him. Oh, you don't mean? Yes, I mean him. I don't want to do it, but we need him. And that was it. That part took me out of the movie for a moment
because it made it bigger than what it really.
Well, no, not even that. It was just Sonic. Then we got the whole baseball scene, and then we got like what makes him vulnerable, and then boom, literally could have been an Independence Day movie, a G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah, but let me tell you,
any of those movies where that's a thing.
Okay, let me tell you why we kind of needed it, because in the beginning of the movie, when he's like running away, it's almost just like that. Because I think in each, I mean, who's to say that? Oh, okay, I see how it is.
She took the mic away from. Is it a serious moment?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna make my point.
Okay, sorry.
Who's to say that that's the first stop that he was on? We don't even know. Like, maybe he's a kid. Well, I guess, I mean, she gave him the rings. But, so they found out something. What happened in the beginning for them to chase him and them away? And then
people wanted his powers.
Okay. So, why didn't they do that before? Like, has he been hiding the whole time? Was that what happened?
Well, what it was is he was being so fast, no one saw him. Then the minute they saw him being fast, they wanted he was born, I don't think he was gifted. I think he was born with powers that no one else had, and immediately other people wanted that to the point where they wanted to kill him or capture him or something. Okay. And so his owl protector lady was like, "You need to go to another planet where no one can find you. I will I will let myself die in your stead and whatnot."
Yeah, but why would she send him to a place like Earth, where it's like...
She probably knew nothing about it.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
But honestly, though, it kind of leaned into that. I think we needed that scene because it's like showing... Maybe it does need to be that big. Maybe people need to know about him, so that way it's more of a threat to him for him to leave and go to this mushroom... Tyler?
Sorry. Let me just one more.
My bad. This mushroom planet.
Which, can I just say real quick? I have to believe that mushroom planet does not exist in the Sonic thing.
No.
So they did that just as a reference to Mario. Because back in the day, Mario and Sonic were direct competitors. And at one point, Sonic straight up said, "I hate mushrooms," or "I don't like mushrooms."
Oh, he did say that.
And it's just like Mario eats mushrooms for his powers. So...
And Sonic said he hated mushrooms.
Yeah, and that's actually a perfect segue into the references of the movie. And a little bit of a callback to what you were just talking about with supporting characters. So, the little girl.
Oh, I was going to say something about her. Go on.
I really like her. And there's always that moment, they always have to help the hero. When the adults or the other people are fighting.
Losing their minds.
In Captain Marvel, like, the daughter, her friend's daughter, like... helped her choose the colors, and they bring the hero to a nice moment.
It's all in it from innocence.
Yeah, there are other
honesty.
Yeah, because when a hero or when a character can like befriend or get along with a child, you immediately like them more. Mm-hmm. I think
you can trust them more.
Yeah, this is so obscure. I can't believe it popped in my mind. But in Game Plan, when one of the football players is hanging out with the Madison Pettis, the little girl, when she's like 10 years old, and he's like in the middle of a football game, and he's like, "Stupid is a mean word," and that's because that's what she told him. Yeah. You just like a character, and he's not even a main character. You just like him more because of how he relates with a child. And so I really loved, and I also did view Sonic kind of as a child in that sense.
Yeah, but like more grown child.
Yeah, more experienced than her. She's like 10.
Yeah.
And obviously he's experienced a lot more. Crazy things, at least.
He must have, because he freaked out when he was like, "Oh no, they're gonna get me!" When he saw that big ass van.
But I had a feeling when they kept showing his shoes, then there was the footprint, and she went off camera in the kitchen. I was like, she's gonna go upstairs and find shoes for him.
He needed new socks, if anything.
Right.
Damn, like my socks are bad, but
he got his iconic shoes from that little girl, and that was a good wholesome moment. Yeah. That was a good, reference. I mean, it's not really a reference. That's just his look.
Yeah.
That's like someone like, "Oh, where's Indiana Jones's hat?" It's like, that character gave him his hat or made his hat.
So it's almost like they helped mold him into who he is, into who I guess. Into how you know him.
Yes, a
Not
little
mold
bit.
him, but put him together.
A little bit, yeah.
Like...
I mean, the little girl was responsible for that because he has gloves and he was already wearing those.
Yeah, that I get, yeah.
But even that was a good moment with like the high five. He was like in the baseball diamond and he was like, and the crowd goes wild. And then he went up to do a high five and then he got really sad and he looked at his glove and then they ended the movie with the high five and he just loved that so much. But yeah, I like that she gave him the shoes, and that also reminded me of like fucking. It took 3 movies for Friday the 13th where he finally got his hockey mask.
Oh yeah.
So it's like there were probably people in the audience being like, "Where the fuck are his shoes? Why is this movie doing that?"
Honestly, I didn't even realize it until she gave it to him.
Yeah, he's got the big ass red shoes, make him go fast. But they had a lot of good references. Did you? I mean, with our very small amounts of Sonic knowledge combined, did you catch any references?
Honestly, not really, and that's why I knew that you would come into play for that, because I have no clue.
There was the fast part in the bar.
Well, Gotta Go Fast is one of them, but yeah.
Yeah, when he, the smelling salts.
Yeah.
When the wife had to bring him up.
Yeah.
He did the Gotta Go Fast, because that's his thing. But the chili dogs. He ate chili dogs.
I didn't get that.
It's a chili dog thing. You know Deadpool, how he says fucking chimichangas? That's Sonic's chimichanga.
He likes chili dogs?
Yeah, Sonic likes chili dogs.
Oh, how do you know that?
Because I know a little bit about that. That's a reference I know.
How do you know he likes chili dogs? I am so in the dark.
That's just a thing I know he likes. It's just like Mario likes spaghetti.
Yeah, but that's because he's Italian. Stop being racist.
And it's not like what he's focused on. Okay. But I don't know. That's just something I knew. And there were...
Any other references?
We're looking at notes I compiled right before this playlist. Wow, this podcast. So we wouldn't really come out with nothing. And I wrote references, parentheses, chili dogs, Gotta Go Fast, etc.
Etc. doesn't
and
really help us.
And then I have etc. and I can't think of anything else.
I'm giving that to you because I don't really know a lot of references.
We already mentioned one.
Just the rings. I mean, that's all I know.
The rings, yes. And then there was the sound effects they made. Ding. But Eggman at the end of the movie.
Well, yeah.
Looking more like Eggman. You noticed his pudginess. I didn't. Yeah. So kudos to you.
That was the only part that I really remembered from playing the game is how big he was.
But I think lastly, because we're not going to go, I've listened to podcasts where they go play by play of movies. I don't have that good of a memory. I'm not taking notes while watching the movies.
Oh, no. Yeah, so that would ruin the memory.
The movie itself was really, really good. The Portals thing was weird for me while watching the trailer because I was like, there's no way Portals have anything to do with Sonic. But they made it work.
But it made sense.
They made it work.
I think with the rings, it's not like a stupid reason. It made it a thing where he had to use it. It's not like, it's just there.
It was a good final fight. And what I appreciated about this hero versus villain fight that they should do way more frequently in movies is they always save you for the end fight. But this one, it was just Robotnik constantly trying to find Sonic. It's like, I need to go to his house. This is where he was. This is this. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me hit him.
He was smart enough to track him.
Yeah, he blew up all my shit. I'm still going to find him. And then it was,
I give him credit.
And it was a good final battle. And I also like that James Marsden helped. And then...
He was kind of a badass at the end.
Yeah, he was really dope. He was just like, who punched you? Huh? But I liked when he just stepped aside and he's like, all right, you got this? Go get him. It's like, let Sonic fight Eggman. That's the video game right there.
And then he used the portal, and that was kind of cool.
Yep, put him on the Mushroom Planet. I really thought that was cool. You say the name of the place wherever you want to go, and that's the portal.
That reminds me of something else.
Harry
my
Potter?
God. No, actually, I can't really spoil it because it's a recent thing. If you watched Lock and Key, the show on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. It's called Spoiled Popcorn, but I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
So don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to, but I just got to say, watch that.
But the movie as a whole, I loved it. There were really, really good parts. What's up?
I was going to say, also, I really love the supporting characters, but I liked the supporting characters.
Is it that dude?
Wade?
Stone...
What?
The guy with the really nice
Agent
beard?
Stone.
Yes.
You're thinking of Agent Stone. Where he's like always popping up behind him and always being so like, he was funny.
I thought you'd want a French vanilla frappuccino. Of course I...
They're delicious.
Are you an imbecile? Of course I'd want one. I love the way you make them.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Him, JoJo, of course we already mentioned her. Crazy Carl.
Oh yeah.
Was not so crazy.
He reminded me of Ralph from Friday the 13th. The crazy old dude who kept running around going, "You're doomed." Talking about Jason in Camp Crystal Lake.
There's always that
crazy was a reference.
Really?
That drawing he had of Sonic.
Yeah.
That was a meme That is an ongoing Sonic meme where someone drew him like that, and they straight up took that picture from the internet and put it in that movie. Really? I swear to God, yes.
I don't believe it, Will.
Yeah, I'll here. Let me.
You can prove it to me.
Let me talk for a little bit.
Okay. So, also, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna bring up like, overall movie.
Okay.
Good vibes. You like that?
Oh yeah. It definitely. I need to go see it again because for some reason it's like. Oh God!
Yeah,
that was not the drawing that he.
Yeah,
was it?
It was like in a blue crayon on like a napkin or a piece of paper. But yeah, that's the drawing.
Wow, you better show them. That's terrible.
Yep.
I mean, if it's a kid's drawing, that's fine. But
I doubt it. It's YouTube. That's someone did that purposefully. Probably.
I
don't know much about it, but yeah, that was pretty much it. And they call him the Blue Demon, and I really like that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, he's the Blue Demon. Yeah, he's real. And then he's been spying on them throughout, and he's like, oh, they're like family, but they just don't know I exist, and I watch everything with them. And it's like, you're a stalker.
Yeah, but it was adorable. It was adorable.
So adorable. So the whole movie, good vibes. Good
experience to watch. I couldn't focus as much because I was so focused on it being, like, good. I knew it was going to be good, but then I'm like, dude, is it going to be funny enough? Is it like, I was kind of having like a few things in my mind. So I couldn't fully focus on like everything that was going on. I need to see it again.
Yeah.
But I would say like just from watching it, it was a good movie. Next time we will go see it in a different movie theater.
See, that was interesting that you brought that up because I think I asked you that towards the beginning of this podcast of what were your expectations. I knew I was going to love it. I didn't know. It's hard to disappoint me during a movie. Like if I leave a movie, I'm probably complaining about the experience I had in the movie theater itself.
It's fine. Yeah.
But I was just like, look, I'm gonna love Detective Pikachu because it's gonna be a good movie. I'm gonna love Pixels because it's got all this shit that I like. I don't need it to be the best like box office winner, the perfect Oscar masterpiece.
That's what bothered me. I didn't have any expectations going in, really, but it was more so like. Anytime I hear something about it, I always have it in the back of my mind. Yeah. I don't have expectations for how I'm going to like it.
The only thing they could have really messed up is if they stuck with the original Sonic design and the story wasn't compelling. But the story was super compelling.
Yes.
Because it was just like, he has to escape his home planet, survive here. He gets discovered because he does that power outage. He knows he has to leave, but then he has to fight Eggman because he keeps finding him. And that's going to end. And we know that. Somehow those have to solve each other.
Speaking of ending.
Dude, when fucking Tails walked up on screen.
I was so confused when you said that in the beginning. You said something.
I blew my mind. What are you referring to?
Maybe it was you or Anthony. I don't know. Well, something was mentioned about Tails. And I was like, Tails not in this movie.
Oh, Knuckles.
Or was it Knuckles?
I jokingly said Knuckles.
That's okay. It's
like when you're sitting in a movie and you're just like, can they pause it? I have to pee. You just say a joke right as the movie's starting.
Okay.
I was just like, I can't wait to see Knuckles. And that was more of a dig. It's like, hey, you guys want to see a Mario movie, but literally only have Mario. That's like if they had Detective Pikachu and then no Pokemon.
Yeah. I get that.
So it's like, we only have Sonic. And that's why I like the beginning with baby Sonic. And then Echidna's in the background. The owl, no idea who she was. Appreciated her. It's that motherly character.
Do you think that a lot of those people... I already know they're going to make a sequel because it did so well.
It is going to get a sequel.
And the way that they moved the end
I'm excited to talk about this, yeah. This is one thing I didn't even think about. I think I thought about it while I was watching the movie, but then the movie went on and the thought just left. What people probably were upset about, maybe, is like, why are we getting a Sonic movie on Earth? Why aren't we on his planet? Why don't we have his cast of friends? But I feel like if they would have done that first and then we would have gotten an Earth movie, that would have been like a downgrade.
Have made an impact on it.
And now it's like, hey, we just got Sonic. We focus on Sonic, get us to love him as a character. And now if we got like his own planet movie, fuck yeah, everyone's excited.
Yeah, because it did so well.
It's
in
build
the
up.
first one.
Yeah.
So I definitely will go see that.
Yeah.
100%.
And now we talk about the experience. We're going to save some of this for another podcast, but do not, I repeat, if you need to go see Sonic and you have a child who can't...
Preferably under 5 or 6.
That child could not speak words.
I know.
I swear that was a baby. Find a fucking babysitter or go to a drive-in where you can drown out the screams of your child in a car. They were literally 2 seats from me to my right. And this dude and this wife kept trading off, taking their screaming child away from the theater. Yeah. At one point, I heard them far away because he was in the hallway looking up at the screen. It's like, no, you lost your privileges. You ruined the movie for everyone. Leave.
You're so dramatic.
It's just so distracting.
So many men. I'm not going to try and be sexist right now, but I think it helps, like... I wasn't so bothered by it, maybe because I was a little bit further away, like 1 seat over. Mm-hmm. And I've been through movies like that where I kind of just drown out the noise. It did bother me a little bit because it's like it bothered me more so the fact that they kept leaving and coming back.
Yeah.
And then every time they would sit down, 5 minutes later, not 5 minutes, it would start whatever baby it was.
The fucking demon would cry.
No. It would, I would cry though.
Like I'm sitting next to Anthony. Anthony is to my right.
I know
he
literally was frustrated.
Is like, if I moved my elbow out right now, I would touch them. He's 1 seat next to them.
Yeah.
And so they walk back, and he's like, "My fucking god!" I'm just like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, they're coming back, and they're gonna keep doing it." And then there was like the little girl. She
was adorable.
Rows and rows and rows and rows in front of us.
She was adorable because. She was so excited about this movie. She had not ever played, I don't think ever played Sonic. I mean, I don't know.
She was far away enough to where you couldn't make out what she was saying.
No, I heard what she was saying.
Oh.
She was like, oh yeah.
I understood Sonic. The context. Like, at one point, she's just like, oh my god, is he gonna get up? Like, she said something along those lines, and I'm like, okay, I know what she's saying, but shut up. Because if I was in the row with her, I would want to kill her. So when she's rows and rows and rows away, that's fine. But it's like, this is the last time I go to the first Tuesday $5 showing of a kid's movie.
That's your own fault, yeah.
Or a movie oriented towards children.
You knew what you were getting into.
Fanboys would literally, if they came out with a My Little Pony movie, which I'm sure they have, people would go to it. Or a SpongeBob movie. You're going to get a lot of 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and people who grew up with that.
Yeah.
But you're also going to get families with their children who probably have no idea what any of these characters are, but it is a family movie, so you got to take the kids somewhere. And with those kinds of movies, kids scream.
But remember, I was literally talking about it in the car, how my experience going to the SpongeBob movie back in 2004, I mean, I was like 10,
mm-hmm.
and then my cousins were probably, I don't know.
5?
Like 4 or 5, yeah.
4 or 5.
I was probably a little bit older, so it's, it's fine. But that movie experience was, like, important to me. So I think that while, yes, I think you need to go and take your kid when they're of age. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be, like, until they're 10, but just until they're, like, not screaming constantly.
Yeah. Movies like these,
You were a kid.
Shape the future. Yeah, but I never screamed during movies. I don't... Maybe
Do you remember?
No, but it's just... I don't know. I doubt it. I remember one of my first early movie memories is like Star Wars Attack of the Clones or Charlotte's Web or Spy Kids 2 or 1 or something. So I'm not at that age where I'm screaming, and I'm not as reactive as... Just tell your child, honey, please be quiet. Yes.
Kids aren't...
That kid was so far away, and I hear them screaming. And then, to top it off, this is probably what we're going to end it on. You didn't catch it. That movie was quiet.
Yeah, you guys did say it was quiet.
The theater was quiet.
I don't think it was. Because you guys are so used to listening to surround Dolby Theater Ultra something.
Yeah,
like, I was totally fine with listening to it.
This theater didn't really have that.
No, it didn't. But I was fine with listening to it as if I was in my movie
my
room.
The audience of this movie fucking sucked. It's just like, is that a child in that bag? Yes. but it's not mine. And then everyone's like, ah!
Because it's a funny part.
Yeah, but what people don't realize is that the movie still goes on. So while you spend your 30 seconds laughing, that's 30 seconds of movie I didn't hear.
Well, then you gotta wait until it comes out on Blu-ray.
Right, and that's a podcast for another day. I promise you guys we will get into that. If you want to hear angry Tyler and Tori.
I gotta mention, though.
It's a Tyri tirade.
Sure, why not? I'll let you keep that one. But no, I was gonna say was, while we watched the movie and the funny parts came up, there was just a few laughs that had me like almost on the floor. Because this guy sounded like Goofy.
Oh, the guy in the theater?
He was like, gosh. And it cracked. Actually, it made me laugh more, where I kind of enjoyed it more. Yeah. So I guess you have to be open to experiences. You can't just be closed off by people around you. But it was funny. It was cute. The kids, like there was a few times where something Sonic did and he did great, so all the kids started clapping, and it was so adorable.
Anthony sitting next to me is just as I can't think of the word. Just as
bothered.
Yeah, I don't know why maniacal is coming in my mind.
Maybe because you guys are evil.
Just as bothered. He's just like, people are clapping, and he's like, really?
I get it.
And I'm right there with him. I'm just like, yeah, dude, they need to shut the fuck up. Clap when the credits are rolling.
I get it.
But it's
a part of the experience.
That just goes to show you the movie reached
how
out
good it was.
To everyone. I heard adults clapping. I heard kids clap. Everyone. Okay, I heard them reacting. I can't tell when a child or an adult is clapping.
No, I can because it's like little or big or, you know.
But everyone got a reaction. I was laughing a few times during the movie.
Oh, you were laughing a lot.
I was smiling during the movie. I loved little references. There's always a thing where I go to see a movie, especially with like Anthony, who is such a fan, because we've only seen like 3-something movies together, and we've seen them together because he likes them. So with Sonic, I was just like, oh, please like this movie, Anthony, because I know we're going to talk about it after this. Please like it. And he the first thing he said was, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I actually really like that. Or like the other day, me and him watched Freddy vs. Jason. He only heard what people said about it, and he's like, dude, I want to get this over with. When we were done watching, he's like, dude, tell me why that was actually good. I was like, I know, right? And it's like, you can't just let reviews and other people's critiques of those movies. No,
because half those reviews are, like, I don't know what is wrong with critics in movies, but they always have to be so negative. That'd be critical, but what is there to be critical about? Like, it's so open-ended.
One thing that's always disappointing is I go into a lot of movies not knowing a lot of the lore. Like comic book movies, Marvel movies, all that. So I'll be going, and I'm just like, ooh, look, Iron Man 3, that movie's awesome. And then the people I'm with are just like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that to the Mandarin. And then it's like, oh, okay. I did enjoy the movie until I found out that people who like it actually let it disappoint them. So it kind of lets you, it gets you down a little bit, because it's like, oh, well, now that I know that,
because they're going in with expectations that maybe they shouldn't have, because it's a movie and it's separate from what they have
with
read.
Jim Carrey, a likable guy like James Marsden, Ben Schwartz as Sonic as a character in general, I knew I was going to have a good time. I went into the movie theater with high expectations, and the only thing I let bother me was the fact that the people around us, like, I have to go see that a second time so I can hear it.
I need to go see it a second time so I can just gather information and like process it again.
Yeah, me and you went into that movie theater very differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I hope it's good, and then you spent the whole movie hoping it was good. But I was like, I'm having a great time. If everyone could shut up and let me enjoy it more, I'd be...
But it's like they spent so much more money than they really needed to. Like, they did need to, but, like, just imagine that movie, and then all they had to do was change the main person. Maybe they added more things, I don't know. But they just had to change the way Sonic looked. But they had to spend so much money to do that to make everyone happy. So you better fucking go and watch that movie if you're the one that complained about it.
Yeah, if you complained about the original Sonic, this is for you. Go watch that movie. They changed him for you.
Which I did, so.
Yeah, so we did. I put in my 2 cents. I made videos complaining about how Sonic looked. Not angrily, but it was more comically. It was like, oh my god, look at this fucking monster.
It was understandable.
Painted white hands and perfect teeth.
He looked like a human.
Yeah, teeth look better than mine. What I was, this is where we'll end it. What I was surprised, I didn't think they would actually open it up to a sequel.
I didn't know, but I hoped. Because the more I watch this movie, I'm like, I kind of don't want it to end because, you know, it's like, oh, it's getting better and better the more I watch it. I think, like, me trying to process everything. I'm like trying to take everything in, like, oh, that was funny and whatever. And I wouldn't mind watching something that's just like it, but different. Same thing.
It's like you bringing up Spider-Man. It's like, it's like, okay, MCU, we're done with Spider-Man. Sony, we're stopped making Spider-Man movies.
I was so upset.
And it's like, what? Why are we done? We didn't get like, oh, well, fuck. That's a bad example. I was going to say Spider-Man versus Venom. I mean, we technically had that in Spider-Man 3, which came out like early 2000s, Tobey Maguire. But it's like, you know, Spider-Man and Venom, those go together. Mm-hmm. So it's like Sonic and Tails. It's like, you just can't give us one Sonic movie and not give us Tails.
And not give us
It's
all
like,
the other
you can't
characters.
give us a Mario movie and not give us Luigi. You can't give us Despicable Me like the Minions and not give us Gru.
Did you see that they're coming out with another
The Rise
one?
of Gru.
Yeah.
And even that, there's the Minions, and then we got the Minions movie, and there's Gru. I'm not a terribly big fan of those movies, but that just popped in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't just make a Mario movie and not have Luigi or Bowser or Peach. You can't make a Zelda series and not have Ganon or Zelda. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you can't have a Sonic movie and not have any of it, like Amy, Shadow, Knuckles, Tails. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited for the sequel.
Ooh, what if they have like multiple?
I think we'll get
Tails.
it in 3 years.
It's gonna be a while.
I think they're gonna take their time on it.
To make sure that they don't have any.
Mishaps. It's just like, all right, guys, here's Amy. What do you guys think about? Okay, no, we'll redo her. We'll give her hammer back. I don't know why we thought of giving her this, but final thoughts, Tor?
Definitely go see it, but go see it on a day that's not Tuesday, where there's going to be multiple people and children, where it's going to distract you. Mm-hmm. Like, it's definitely a must see if I'm gonna.
This will be one of those movies that people are reacting to out loud
because it was already an issue before.
Yeah,
you have to resolve it.
I saw Endgame like months after it came out, and people are still clapping. It's one of those movies that pulls you in and gets a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna ask you to do a rating of this movie, but if you had to not see it or see it, go see it.
Yeah.
And go see it twice, because
I'm too nice. I would give it an A or a B or
something. They made Sonic for you. So yeah, thank you. Welcome to the first episode of our. Welcome to the first episode.
Spoiled popcorn.
Yeah. Here, do you want to get all sensual with the mic?
Come back and see us sometime.
Wow, that was
big boy.
That was good. Yeah.
More like hear us sometime.
Thank you guys for joining us on the. My bad.
What?
My bad.
You just ruined a sexy moment. Okay. Well, I'm done. That's a wrap. I give up.
Yeah, this is getting very little editing. You guys are getting it all raw. Do the raw. I love you, Daddy. Yeah. Well, as I said, we'll find our vibe by episode 17.
Yeah, give us some pointers. Let us know what you like, what you don't.
Comment down below. Any movie? What did you guys think of Sonic? Do you guys want to see it? Are you not seeing it for a certain reason? Did something get spoiled for you? But also, what do you guys want us to talk about? It doesn't.
Mostly, we want it to be movies or TV.
But it doesn't have to be big blockbusters. No. It doesn't have to be anything that's in theaters.
It could be literally.
Fucking.
What's that show I watched on Netflix? It's like my first love or whatever. It's a Korean.
Yeah.
South Korean show.
We could talk about literally anything.
Anything.
I could be like, yo, I just watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail for the first time. Let's talk about it.
I like that. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's already a thing, so.
Well, it's close. That's Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
It is. I don't want to
steal anything. How fucking lucky of them to take 4 words and like, oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Make it so big.
It's like, fuck you guys. You didn't trademark it.
We love you.
You didn't trademark it, but you knew what you were doing.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining us for our first episode of Spoiled Popcorn. Comment down below what you guys thought of the movie.
Bell.
And yeah, hit the bell.
Is there a bell?
There's a bell. So you can get notifications of when we upload videos. Because we don't do it scheduledly. I don't know the word. We don't do it consistently.
No.
We are normal people with normal lives.
Jobs.
And yeah, so we do YouTube when we can. Hopefully we're going to get back into it a lot more. We just got a table.
Woo! Yeah. It's beautiful.
And we got
some benches.
So we're just like, dude, let's fucking hook up the mic, sit at the table, do a podcast. We're going to be doing a lot more here. So yeah, comment down below. What do you guys want to hear from us, see from us, breathe from us, pray from us, grind from us? Fucking stupid Bring Me the Horizon album.
We would love to know.
I don't know where that came from. But hey Tori.
What, big boy? I don't know.
Hey.
Oh. Do it. I can't. Hold on. I gotta contain myself. Hey. I want to be famous.
Yeah. I can't. All right. Let's high five it out, Tori. That was good. I love you and I love you guys.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.